Hello! Today I'm taking a break from my dissertation about fan theories to make a video about fan theories. There is no escape! In this little soon-to-be-over mini-series, I scout the internet for 4 different shows and pick out the dumbest, craziest, and sometimes game-changing fan theories about those franchises. I adore fan theories. They're very special to me. They're a kind of fan activity that is more like fan fiction. And as long as you have fun with it and don't let it define your media for you, I think they're a very good modern internet phenomena. Anyway, time to fucking debunk them. Let's have a giggle. About 5 years ago, before Toby's mask came off, there were still some mysteries in the Naruto universe. My favourite fan theory, one I 100% subscribed to, was too cool for Kishimoto, clearly. I believed that the masked man was a future Sasuke Uchiha. From a different dimension or a different time, come back to destroy the ninja. It would explain his moveset, it would explain the Kamui, and it would definitely explain Obito's random obsession with Sasuke. If he were trying to manipulate his younger self onto a path of evil, that would make more sense. In 2018, people are saying similar theories about Kawaki. The fan theory reads, Kawaki is from the future. He is the son of Sarada and Boruto. Kawaki's motivation is to kill Boruto, to prevent a future disaster at the cost of his own existence. Gregory Pecker came up with this theory whilst he was mowing his lawn, and the replies are, why would you do drugs when you can just mow the lawn? How hot was it outside? Time traveling fetus, anyone? Okay, I'm feeling a lot of friction against this idea. I quite like it. Spin-off shows, when regarding the next generation, should always try and do a bit of time travel, whether it's long-running shows like Doctor Who, Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. It may seem a bit too far-fetched for this world, but it would be a great way to elevate the series and have fun with the show's history. Whatever event Boruto causes in the future might be linked to his new Otsutsuki eye. In the most recent episode, a random guy floated around and says, "You bring devastation in your wake. Those eyes will betray you." Or something ominous like that. Or maybe I've just been playing too much Fire Emblem. Kids from the future come back to the present day all the time in that game. It's like a core mechanic. Honestly, I'm gonna give this one a 3 out of 5, although I know in my heart it is never going to happen. Kawaki's design is pretty fucking metal, and he does look like a crossover of these two characters, but I still just don't buy it. Sasuke wasn't Toby, and Kawaki won't be anybody interesting. Hold me to that. And plus, I've never gotten a Naruto theory correct in my life, so the score is still 0 to Sam. Avatar: The Last Airbender. I should always consider making more Avatar: The Last Airbender videos. I watched this show in 2010 and it's never left me. There are 4 tribes in the Avatar universe: the Earth, the Air, the Fire, and the Water. And when the current Avatar dies, they are reincarnated into the next in the cycle. The cycle goes Water, Earth, Fire, Air. If Aang is an Airbender, it only makes sense that the next Avatar will be a Waterbender. And she was. But Aang is over 100 years old. He got stuck in a block of ice as a kid and disrupted the entire flow of it. Let's say that 100 years was the instance of one Avatar cycle. This theory suggests that Aang disrupted the flow of the universe. If he had never got frozen in the ice, he would have lived his life to completion and would have been dead roughly about the time of the start of the series. What if Katara was designed to be the next Avatar? She's the only female waterbender from the Southern Water Tribe, just like Korra. Check. She also, apart from being insanely special, was incredibly powerful. In short, she was born a natural. Hey, just like Korra. Check. No doubt Katara is special. Okay, this theory has a couple holes in it, but I'm gonna try and unpack it for you. The Avatar universe is very spiritual and interconnected, and things are proven to be predetermined. The Avatar cycle will always go to the next one in the chain. If the universe also gifted people with the abilities to be Avatar, it wouldn't be that much more of a stretch. Aang was chosen, Korra was chosen, we don't know how or why. But does the Avatar cycle actually reset every 100 years? That's not how it works. We're in guesstimate territory because 100 is a ripe old age that neither Aang or Kyoshi grew to. We know that Aang died at the normal age of 66, so why would that be any different in a different time period? Roku probably is the oldest standing Avatar, and I wouldn't even call him 100 years old. Anyway, it's a cool theory, and it really does explain how capable and powerful Katara's growth is. Maybe the universe is paying her back for being the only waterbender. Or maybe we're just completely overreading it. For all we know, it could be the fucking swamp bender guy. He's just as powerful, surely. I think I have to pencil in with another 3 out of 5 points for creative effort. You gotta hand it to you. You gotta hand it to him. Let's talk a movie. You fuckers heard of a movie called The Dark Knight? It was a pretty big deal in 2005, and everybody on every film website ever will not shut up about it. To the majority of film fans, The Dark Knight is still the best movie ever made ever. And it's a quality flick, with a quality villain. Heath Ledger's Joker is one of the most defining icons of the last decade. But what a performance to die on. The fan theory is The Dark Knight's Joker is a army vet. Disillusioned and cast out by his own government in the Iraq War, the war on terror is defining for the modern superhero genre. I'd argue every superhero movie from Iron Man and Dark Knight in 2005 tackles the America's relation. Oh, I'm being called. Something superheroes. The Joker is a chaotic agent. It explains why he's talented with preparation and guns, why he's unfazed by criminals, and disguises himself as a cop in the military parade. There are like 5 instances in this movie where the Joker is shown to be capable with explosives. See, in comic books, you don't really question that sort of shit, but in a very realistic movie, people want answers. So, is he an army vet? In the movie itself, the Joker gives us 3 different backstories as to why he is and how he got these scars. But all the anecdotes are very different, so he's clearly bullshitting his own origin story. For such an in-depth, complex, long movie, we're never bothered by the why in Dark Knight. The Joker simply does, and has to be stopped. This theory makes sense. The movie even hints at it, but you guys are severely missing the point. He is an anonymous force. If we found out his origin story, the Joker would lose all of his mythos. Nolan simply did not find it important. It's the fact that a society like ours could generate a character like this that makes the Joker, this edition of the Joker, the best version. Well, except for, Jack Nicholson Joker. Best Joker of all time, baby! And for that, you get a 1, because you fucked up. And finally, another movie series I adore with my heart, Pirates of the Caribbean. Did anybody actually go see the 5th movie in cinemas? I did. Did anybody actually know there was a 5th movie in cinemas? I did. Dead Man Tell No Tales was an exceedingly average movie, but that's not what we're here to discuss. Jack Sparrow, one of my favourite archetypal fictional characters, is very out of character in this film. He betrays his friends, he drinks, but excessively. He's not smart in any of the action scenes. Good things just happen to him. He sells his most precious item for a drink. This is definitely not the clumsy drunk strategist of the previous 4 movies. In Phil Mento's brilliant 18-minute video, he articulates how he feels this is a betrayal of the character, or there is an imposter posing as Captain Jack. Now I'm listening. Now, there has been a big time skip in between movies 4 and 5. 5 just feels so different because not only is Jack being genuinely scummy, genuinely clownish, talentless and witless, but there is also not a single sword fight in this movie. Everything just happens to him. It's like somebody is wearing his body, controlling his actions, or pretending, acting to do Jack Sparrow without the skill or luck to be him. Just on creativity alone, you get a big whopping 5, but then I've got to deduct 1 because Disney wouldn't do something so interesting. And then I have to deduct another 1 because you established a character with a weakness, with a character flaw, and then didn't let that character fix that character flaw, and that's just story 101. Then we have to deduct another point because then we've been watching a whole film with some random person with no explanation. Yeah, you can explain that in a future film, but for this one, we're in the dark. That makes no sense. And then I have to deduct one more point because remember, this is Johnny Depp we're talking about. It's been about 15 years since anybody found this character endearing. Yeah, maybe he was possessed or replaced with an imposter, but also maybe Johnny Depp has lost his spark and Disney are just telling him, more silly, more drunk. We're on the 5th movie, and not only is the quality constantly dropping, but so is the heart and original spirit of the film franchise. Johnny Depp was going for a lot during this filming, and when he would show up to set on time, he would have all of his lines fed to him through an earpiece. Which just says it all. There's your answer. And that's the problem with the fan theory. Once you expose actual production details and you get the creatives involved, fan theories can be squashed out like that. And it's actually kind of depressing. Let people have fun. Honestly, if people just sat in denial forever and treated the 5th movie like an imposter Jack, maybe someone could get more value out of it. But at the same time, then you've kind of written a fanfic. Using the original movie as a starting point, Filmento has just created a much more interesting plot. Bringing it back full circle. That's why I love fan theories.